All right, we're here. Friday again.
That's right.
Yeah, I was rushing. I don't know why I was rushing because we weren't really doing anything. Wob and I are just playing with the E36, doing one little part and piece at a time. I put half the trunk back together. I got the anti-gravity battery in, so I put the whole base of the trunk back together, leaving the spare out. Scott dry iced the carpet, so it looks pretty sick. It looks super clean.
Works on carpet too.
Oh yeah, it was incredible. The thing was nasty. And he also cleaned up some trim pieces from the back seats that I'm going to have reupholstered. So now we're working on doing the door handles. Hopefully Wobble will magically figure out how it works by the time I'm done with this podcast. But yeah, good day. We shot our music videos, not like MTV music video, but our Dyn Audio Music is the brand, is the model. Music 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 5, and 7, and the music bracket. So we shot those. It was like, probably 2 hours worth of me talking straight to do all those different videos. So that was cool. Got that off the list. Check that off the list. Then we'll start working on Zio, and then we'll start working on the individual stuff. I've got a call into Audio Control to become a dealer for that.
What is that? Is that another brand?
Yeah, that would be to like receivers and preamps and amps and stuff like that, distributed audio amplifiers and things. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. But yeah, good day. I'm shooting a vlog for the Inside the Hex, and I'll be doing a couple wash and talks this weekend. And Tesla should be back sometime today. Is the plan?
He said this week, right?
He talked to me. I talked to him this morning. He said he was bringing it up today, or talked to him last night. I don't know how it's gonna go.
You putting the wheels on? It's people asking. We've been teasing them now for like 3 weeks about the wheels. They want to see them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a jack underneath it. I have to drive up on some 2x4s.
And then there was a self-proclaimed Tesla nerd was asking when he's going to get more Tesla content. You've been E36 heavy lately.
Yeah, there's not much Tesla content left. I mean, we're gonna show you the Artisan Spirits. I don't like calling it a body kit because it's not really a body kit. Front lip, side skirts. I don't know. I'm probably going to be putting this up for sale here real quick. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Trying to de-nerd it, and sometimes when you de-nerd, it goes wrong. I'm hoping I've gone right, but I'm pushing the limits of my tolerance. So we'll see.
An old coach at my high school used to say, "You can't polish a turd." Can't polish a nerd.
Yeah.
Dylan chiming in the chat here says, "Hey Matt and Chris, Dylan here from Durham, North Carolina. Just want to say thank you for introducing him to LHT. He's been stuck watching their YouTube channel for the past month and can't get enough. So that's cool.
If you're a Honda guy, then yeah,
that's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, that LHT built my Civic engine and my S2000. We did my whole S2000 together.
Florian says, "This is exactly what I need after a crappy week at work." Sorry about that, Florian, but hopefully we can brighten your day here a little. Let me get to a quick question here. This was from Henry, who says, "Matt, if OG didn't happen, what do you think you'd be doing right now? Would you still be in the?"
Yeah, I'd still be in wealth management. I'd probably be deciding whether or not to go into management versus I would have, or versus going independent, and starting an independent, financial advisor practice. But thank gosh, I couldn't envision ever doing that again now. So, yeah, it's that's likely what I would be doing. It'd be doing well, but not as well.
Let's see here. Andy wants to know, speaking of the Tesla, does Matt know where to buy OEM Tesla parts from? I need a front bumper and rear bumper for Model 3. No dealership, so where's there to get stock parts?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way to do it is through the Tesla service centers. I think you can only get those parts direct. You could hit up Unplugged Performance. They have some connections. They can sometimes source the stuff. I'm going to have to pay a little bit of extra to get it, but that's how I got my OE rear calipers is, Ben from Unplugged and his team. They just, figured out how to get it for me. So that's they took care of it, and then so you might be able to get it through them if you can't find a way to get it through Tesla Direct.
All right, let's see. Epiphany Detailing has a good question here. Is there any chance of ever having Pressall squeezable bottles? I need some for OG Decon and GSF.
Yeah, that's what we've talked about. It's on my wish list with them. Is that we would need a LDPE bottle of some sort that matches the other bottles, something that looks good, as well as a gallon. So in a perfect world, we'd have gallons, spray bottles, and squeezable bottles for soap dispensing. They made some caps for us, so we should have caps. Did we get those in the last shipment, or are they coming in the next one?
Yeah, the caps are here.
Oh, they are. Yeah. So we have caps. The next step would be the other two, and so we're working on that. And then we've got to have to figure something out on our labels. They're great, they look awesome, but they're really designed to be installed after you've heat treated the bottle. So we don't really know how to do that yet. So we're working on it.
All right, that leads to a question from Jeff's Detailing on Instagram. He says, "Good day, Matt and Chris. I wanted to share a tip on installing the OG labels to the Pressall bottles. I too had trouble initially with bubbles, but I took your advice and applied the labels with a mixture of water and glass cleaner. So far, the labels are holding up great with no bubbles in sight. Thanks."
See, what we've learned is that most bottles go through a heat treatment. It's basically the bottles spin in a like a 1500 degree flame for like a millisecond. They and then they're sort of heat treated in order to accept the label. And then the labels are generally applied with a bit of pressure, which of course we're not doing on our garage bench. And so we have these professional grade labels, and it's weird. I have some that have been perfect, doing the method where I clean with what's it called, panel wipe, and then I heat it up a little with the heat gun, and I heat the label up a little bit, and some of them are perfect, and then some of them they kind of tend to get some bubbles. But I haven't done the glass cleaner method. Maybe that'd be smart to do.
It seemed to work for Jeff, so that's cool. Let's see. Lex on Facebook said, "Hey Matt, in the past you mentioned about the possibility of publishing some of your older videos to Inside the Hex that your previous employer asked you to take down.
Yeah.
Have you had any further thoughts on doing this?"
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I don't know how entertaining it would be. What I would probably need to do is commentate, what happened. It'd be interesting or have me watch back. That's what, if we're going to do it, I need to have me sit there and watch back and make commentary while the video's going on. So if we can figure out how to do that, I'm sure we can. Then it might be something that people would want to see.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, I mean, we could just even do it with Open Broadcast Source, what we're using right now to stream. So that would be cool. It was the 2-week vlog the 2 week of driving the
Focus.
Yeah, what was
HOC.
that called then? Yeah, the HOC, the hunk of crap. And then there was another several day in the lives of me, and that got me in trouble. That takedown. So yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we'll get back on that. It would be kind of cool. We do have to finish up the series of employee interviews. There's several people that need to be interviewed that I think could be somewhat interesting, and then of course my normal vlogs as well, and then a few sit downs and brain dumps are sometimes somewhat useful to some.
Let's see. Michael Garman here in the chat says, "Is the countertop for Matt's Garage Countertops specialty? I was wondering if going with a local woodwork shop would be cheaper, better quality than getting one shipped in."
I don't think it's that simple. In fact, almost everybody that said, "You know what, I'm going to do that," rather than having it shipped from Kansas City, I'll just have someone local do it, and then they can't really find it. And so I think it's not that great. I mean, the crate is what, $350, and then shipping is $500 to $600. I mean, if you're buying something you're gonna have for like the rest of your life, so to spend an extra $800 or $1,000 to get it done, and it's gonna be right. They build a crate, so there's like no chance of it getting messed up. And if there is, then they'll replace it. But yeah, I mean, I'm ordering mine, so I don't see why, unless you're just really lucky and have a local supplier, somebody who can make that stuff. It's not the simplest thing to find.
All right, let's see. Florian, our buddy who had a crappy week, he has a super chat here. of 50. I think that's euros. 50 euros. Nice. OG videos always make my week better. Thanks, guys. Hey, there you go. Glad to do it, Florian.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's
Appreciate
awesome. Let's see here. Oh, our buddy Brian in California checking in. Welcome, Brian. We have lots of people are asking what the latest HOA update is. How is Matt Moreland handling the HOA? Has he invited them to see your garage to share the vision?
Yeah, I don't, I knew this would happen. So everybody's all over my case and getting letters and all that. And so I go and I fill out the forms and pay the money and all that stuff. And they're still reviewing it. That was 4 weeks ago. So by then I'd have poop shooting out my tub, and all over my house, and I'd have flooding and all kinds of problems. So instead, I'll ask for forgiveness rather than permission from here on out, because I knew that would happen. As soon as I went and did that, they'd him and haw, and then they'd want to change stuff. Well, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do it right. There's only one way to do it right. And that's what we're doing. And then with the building department, Perry, the electrician, he's gotten me hooked up with. He got all the engineering stuff that I need and all of the permitting and all that stuff. So we should be good. So the building department was getting complaints from the homeowners, and so they just needed something to say, look, here's the deal. This has all been approved. But we're almost done. We did. The sprinkler system is now operational. We decided to do St. Augustine instead of that wispy grass, garbage zoysia. It's better with water. Yeah, it's better at using water, but it's brown infinitely unless you use a lot of water. So you end up using more water to make the grass that doesn't need a lot of water look like grass. Otherwise, it looks like dirt grass, wispy dirt grass. It gets everywhere. So we're paying the $6,000 and having them do the whole 3/4 of the property on getting rid of that wispy crap.
All right, let's see. Our buddy, I think that's Kevin. Yeah, Kevin says we need an interview with Mike F. Still. Don't forget that. Mm-hmm. And your dad. They want to hear from your dad. That'd be good too. He hasn't been on the video yet.
Yeah, we'll get them as well.
Bob says he just bought the OG Pry Tool. Super underrated, even for as much as Matt hypes it up.
It's so good. Yeah, you need like 4 of them because when you need it, you can't find it. Yeah, now I have 2 at home and 2 here. That way I've always have 1 on each side of the car, depending on where I'm at. Yeah, it's so good. I learned that from Derek at Sound in Motion.
All right, Tom says, hey, Matt, what's your favorite glass cleaner? I've tried a bunch and get streaks every time. What about the towel you use when cleaning glass? Yeah, with glass, you've got to use a lot of glass cleaner, and you got to go to town. So I'm using the waffle weave towel that we have in our store. It's the what do they call it? The Dry Me a River from the Rag Company, and then Invisible Glass. Griot's glass cleaner is good too, so you can get that from Advance Auto. But Invisible Glass is pretty much the same thing. Yeah, super cheap too.
Yeah. Geon Glass is okay too. So those are all pretty good.
All right, let's see. Spencer wants to know, when's the next Wash and Talk? You said you're going to do one this weekend, right?
Yep.
Or Inside the Hex Vlog. You did one, working on one today. So there you go.
Yep.
Let's see here. Greg says, great job on the Panasonic install videos. Have you seen a change in temperature, or what have you noticed since they were installed?
One of them still isn't working right, so I ordered a new module. Like, it's just firing at 110 CFM the whole time. It hasn't changed speeds. So that one I need to get fixed. Hopefully it's just the module. I can swap the module and make it work. I could have just grabbed the module from one of the others, but I didn't want to do that. So it's like $20 to order another one. I should have it Monday or Tuesday. Even at 30 CFM, they're a little louder than I thought they'd be. Like, you can hear them. I didn't want to hear them. I thought they were like super whisper quiet. But yeah, I haven't really noticed much. I mean, I feel like the humidity's under control now that we got the air conditioning fixed, and the dehumidifier wasn't communicating back to the thermostat or something like that, and so now the AC's working. My house, it's really comfortable in there now, so it feels like it's a non-event. That's what I wanted. But I do like that the motion sensor seems to be working pretty well. The humidity sensor's working pretty well. I actually went in and turned the turned it down to half a minute. I had it set for 5 minutes, but then it's every time you walk past the thing in the bathroom, then the speed ramps up. So if its speed does ramp up, I just want to ramp up for 30 seconds. So I turned that down on all of them.
All right, let's see here. Our buddy David in Alabama says, regarding the pressure washer in your new garage, what do you think about framing a parallel 2x4 wall in front of the existing aluminum stud wall to isolate the vibration and noise from the inside?
Yeah, we could do that. The only thing is I don't think I have enough room for my cabinet to sit the way I want it to sit then. But I thought about do a double stud wall and stagger the studs, and then do it in wood, because I need to do it in wood anyway. That is a possibility, but what I realize is that I don't need to protect Ryan from the sound. I need to protect me from Ryan, because he's too freaking loud and they're yelling, Fortnite yelling. So, yeah, I'm not so worried about it. I mean, it'll be rare. I couldn't envision myself out there washing when he's sleeping. So he's, he doesn't sleep in and he doesn't go to bed early. So we should be okay.
All right, EC asked on Facebook, how did the sale on the leftover 2.0 microfibers go? I did my part and got 30 mixed variety. They went very quickly, EC.
Yeah, I never even knew they went for sale. I just knew they were gone.
Yeah, some of them went in a few minutes, and a couple others it took a little while, but within hours they were all gone, so that was good.
Yeah, we just cleaned out Microfiber 2.0 once we got all of our packages from the the various giveaways. We were almost caught up. We have a couple more things. We will have, I just got the text from the guys in IND. They did finish 10 machines, which will go and offer to the first 10 that purchased, and then we'll go down the list. But that so that we'll sell those off. I got to figure out what it's not the one that you saw, the super fancy one. That one's like $3,000 or something crazy like that. It's not quite that nice. So we'll figure out what that looks like, but they'll have those done here. So he said next week.
Heard that before. We'll see. Let's see. Jim Tanner on Facebook got an approving a like and a comment from Michelle in Lady Lake. He said, will Matt be getting Michelle a new fishing pole for Mother's Day? Is that the plan?
Yeah, nope.
She was on board with that plan, though.
She's on her own on Mother's Day. Figure. Just tell me what you want and get it, and leave me out of it.
There you go. Randy, I guess we've helped Randy, or you've helped Randy here recently, said he just had Perry install a few of the 6-bulb light fixtures, and he said that it's okay to put them on a dimmer switch. Working great so far. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, supposedly they're not dimmable, so I'm not sure how that works, but Perry would know.
Yeah, I guess they figured out something.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me get my garage dialed in. Magic Stairs rocks. I guess you got those too.
That's cool.
Then someone here in the chat was asking, are you using the Magic Stairs and the little elevator thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, the only disadvantage is, the car's in the way sometimes, so that's a disadvantage. But the building department's on to me about potentially doing garage doors. I said, Perry, don't tell them that. I'm going to sneak in the middle of the night and do it because they're not hurricane rated. Just freaking stupid. What hurricane is coming through Lady Lake? And if it does, we're getting 70-mile-an-hour winds, so you don't need 200-mile-per-hour rated garage doors. Plus, the ones that are not hurricane rated, they would be hurricane rated. He just didn't get the certification. So I'm not permitting freaking garage doors. It's my garage doors. Leave me alone.
You're going to see that giant bull go flying by your door before the garage doors go
out. Right. Come on. They're polypropylene. They're like 1.5 inches thick. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
All right, let's see here. From Marcine, I finally built up the courage to start polishing for the first time. I'm worried about holograms. What do I do to avoid this? Any advice for a first-timer operating a polisher?
Well, if you're using a dual-action polisher, a hologram is not possible, so you don't have to worry about that. A hologram only comes from a rotary, and if you're just starting out, you shouldn't be messing with a rotary. You could. It'll be a good way to learn. Then when you do use a dual-action polisher, it'll be way easier. But, yeah, you can't get holograms from a random orbital, so you don't have to worry about that. And a random orbital also takes away a lot of the risk as long as you don't hold it on an edge, and you have a real hard time burning through paint.
All right, let's see in the chat here. Michael says, am I able to purchase a Dyn Audio Music 5 from you yet? It's not in the store just yet, but it's super close. Let's see.
Yeah,
there
just
you go.
you just shoot us an email. We'll tell you one. We got them.
Yeah.
So yes.
So yeah, email support at Obsessed Garage. We can get that to you. They'll
Which-
be live, I
which-
think, next week.
Which one was he wanting?
5. What do you think?
The 5,699. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Flippin' Kraut wants to know, did you try to see if you could relocate the attic access so you didn't need to move a car?
No, there was no way to do that. Not with the stairs. I was gonna have to move a car no matter what.
All right.
Because of the way the joists are set up, you have to do it in between the ceiling joist.
And let's see. I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll ask it anyway. From G-Man, he's a brand new subscriber to the channel. Says, hey, Matt and Chris, I love the Corvette detail series. A question I have is, does Matt run a dash cam in any of his cars? And if so, what brands does he recommend?
No, I'm not a dash cam kind of guy. My cars have become less important and less valuable to me as time has gone on. So, and I'm never really in areas where anybody's going to mess with anything. And I guess the argument would be, if you've got deeper pockets, then you'd want to prove. But I've got insurance, and I'm not doing anything stupid. So, I don't know anything about dash cams. The guy that to go to is Vortex Radar. He's got a whole dash cam series that could be helpful to you. But yeah, I'm not the guy for that.
All right, let's see. Kevin asked a question here in the chat. He says, speaking of bottles, how about the OG blender bottle? The art was approved last week, I think, or at the beginning of this week. So they're in production right now. As soon as they're out, we'll let you know, Kevin. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're just doing that one, right?
Yeah, it's this bottle, basically with
not
the
in-
OG logo, not in these colors.
Yeah, it'll be like navy and gray and
Yeah.
blue. Yeah,
The usual colors.
Yeah.
We got it in Harbor Freight. Or no, what's the name of your? Harbor Gray. AC
Yeah.
Harbor Gray. Let's see. Akira is from Europe. He's in France. He says, is the Krensla HD 7 122 TS the European equivalent of the 1322 or 1622? It looks pretty much the same, and we can get that here in France. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's not super equivalent because they're 220 volts, and so they have the capability. If you're 220 volts and drawing 14 amps, I mean your wattage, your power output is much greater, and so they get more GPM. So they're nothing's really equivalent to the 1622. So I believe the HD7 would be closer to the 1322, and then there's the HD10, I believe, which would be like a 2.5 or 2.6 gallon per minute, whatever that is, liters per minute, 3 liters per minute or something like that. But the equivalent HD7 would be a little bit better than the 1322.
All right, Ricardo has a quick question here in the chat. I know you mentioned this in that video, but which earmuffs or headphones or whatever they're called do you recommend when using the Ego Blower? So you like
I
your
just
new ones?
bought the Howard Light LEIGHT, I believe. They're gun range, whatever, ear protection. And the first set I had for 3 or 4 years, and they were $60, and I bought another set for $80 or $90, and I'll have those for another 3 or 4 years, and they'll get all funky, and I'll just get a new one. But technically, it's kind of cool because they have the thing where you can filter out, so you can turn a little switch, have the couple little AAAs in there, and you can still hear like someone speak to you, and but it gets rid of most of the heft.
Let's see here. B Costco 33 on Instagram says, Matt, I'm getting ready to purchase Swiss Trax Rib Trax Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Before I do, are there new materials or other company product advancements that caught your attention for one of your in-depth review for a possible Swiss Trax replacement, i.e. Adam's car shampoo was good, but now GSF is better?
No, nothing. Not even in the thoughts. So not on the short list, long list. There is no list. There's nothing like it. So yeah, there's nothing on the docket for that. So you'll be safe. I mean, unless something magically, some innovation comes out, I don't think there's really any replacement for that anytime soon. So you'd be safe with that. But then, yeah, nothing I'm holding back on you. It doesn't. There's nothing like it.
Let's see. We have a super chat here from Shaz29, $10 American. Harbor Gray is the OG recommendation for garage wall paint. But what do you use for trim, doors, ceilings, and walls, especially for interior home? I've heard mentions of Worldly Gray, Dove White, and White Duck.
I think it's called White Dove or Dove White. It's one or the other. I don't know if that's a Benjamin Moore color. I just tell the painters I want Dove White, and they get me something.
They figure it out.
Dove White.
Benjamin Moore
paint.
Dove White OC-17. That sound right?
Yeah, I think so. So that's what I usually use.
Or White Dove.
OC-17, yeah, White Dove.
White Dove and Dove White.
Yeah, Dove White has been extremely popular. White, yeah, that's what we're...
So there you go, Shaz. White Dove or Dove White or some variation.
Yeah, it's a Benjamin Moore color that that they can kind of mix up from pretty much any one. They all have the color palettes that they can match.
Let's see. Needs decaf. That's who asked about the Tesla earlier. Sorry, needs decaf. So he wants to know, can we get a readout on how the suspension is working?
Yeah, I don't know. I only drove it for like 30 seconds, and then Jose came and got it to go painting all the trim pieces.
Gotcha. B-Car Pick says, hey boys, how are we looking on the 75 and 100-foot hoses, and when could we see OG in-house hoses? That's a great question.
Yeah, hoses are going to be, it's one of those things. Too many dollars chasing too few goods, and hoses are one of those things that the supply chain, half the world wasn't working for 6 months or 9 months, and now they're working, but they're catching up to the backlog, combined with unprecedented demand, and so we're going to have in all our descriptions, we'll have updates on things, but the blue hoses we're going to run out of very quickly, and we're going to bring in, we've been talking about bringing the gray hose in forever, so we're going to bring the gray hose in, and then we're just going to take orders, and you just wait. Unfortunately, that's going to be the way it is. And split shipping hoses is not really an option because the hose is so darn expensive. So I'm a big proponent of you make the product available and you have people place the order, and it doesn't work taking deposits because then people disappear and you can't get them, and then one person gets the other person before. So the best thing is everybody just pay in full. I hold on to the cash, and then we ship it out the millisecond it shows up. So that's what we're going to be. We're going to be up against. So we're going to give people the option: do you want a gray hose or do you want a blue hose? Do you want to wait for the the Cobra Jet blue, or do you want just the the MTM gray, which is like the normal rough jacketed the gray hose? I've wanted gray. The reason why we didn't have gray in the beginning was because it wouldn't have all the room, right? So I had to pick one. And the blue hose is the best hose from a marking and quality standpoint, but we're going to offer the gray as well.
Yeah, so if you want a Cobra Jet right this second, go for 75 or 100 footers. We have a few of those left, but 50, it's going to be a while. And you could always use more hose. That's true. Jason M. says, hey, Matt, can you sell me on the concept of the under-counter ice maker? I like the idea, but wondering about 25 to 45 pounds of ice making capability being too much and having stale or freezer burnt ice.
Yeah, that's not really an issue. You'd be surprised how much you cycle through because you get a little nugget ice. The advantage is you don't have to go into the freezer and move, and try to dunk your cup in there, or your kids are palming, half the ice and dropping it in. Where the nugget ice is just more scoopable, where you don't really have to use your hands as much to get it, get it in the cup. You can't really scoop a, half moon shaped ice, whatever that stuff's called. And then, having the little dispenser on the front of the fridge is a disaster. There's always the pee-pee dribble all the way down the side of the fridge all the time. I hate that. Or little hard water spots and stuff. It's terrible. So the concept is to get it out of the faucet, which I'm not going to be able to do because I didn't do softened water. I did filtered water, which is no good to drink. It doesn't taste very good. So we're going to do an RO system. So we'll have a little RO spigot next to our regular faucet, and that's the plan. But I just think it's way better, especially if you got kids, because they can't. Even yourself, you can't. It just doesn't work with the dispenser on the front of the fridge. You get it all messed up all the time. I hate that.
Or it's water and you think it's ice, or ice and you think it's water. Bad news.
Or you felt the water first. You want to add a little more ice, and it splashes everywhere. or you could go get the little scooper and just gently put it in. Now, the byproduct is you end up with ice all over the floor. So, depending on which more important to you, do you care more about your kids dropping ice all over the floor, or do you care about it running down the side of the fridge? So, I choose to, because the ice is better. It doesn't go stale. It's not a big deal to manage.
Kyle York, thinking about purchasing a 12.5-foot array of Sabre cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
In that same price range, does Matt recommend any other brand or still only Sabre?
There's just nothing. I want there to be something so badly. I go through this exercise every few months when they raise prices or do something weird. I'm telling you, there's nothing else like it. Nothing. Unless you go to Lista and Rousseau and Haley and Sonic and Moduli. Now your 12-foot array went from $6,000 or $7,000 to $15,000 or $20,000. So, which is fine if you got the jack, but if you don't have that budgeted, don't have that much money, don't want to spend that much money, there's nothing else like it. It's just so much better than everything else. I just pray that they don't screw it up. I've been on the phone the last few weeks trying to convince some other manufacturers, hey, let's make these cabinets we're talking about. There's just no one does what they do, and forget gauge and all of that stuff. Well, Matt, the New Age Pro. No, it's not Pro. What is it? Bold. There's Bold and Pro. There's nothing Pro about New Age. It's a stupid name. So whichever one it is. I think it's the Pro. Which one's the cheap one? Anyway, it's just not the same. I'm telling you, I'm going to buy a couple cabinets and put them in the garage. I'm going to show you. It's junk. It's got all the features. And just use your brain here for a second. So, a 12-foot array of New Age is what, $2,000, right? And not only is it $2,000, but they're selling it all over the place, and there's margin in it. So there's margin in it for the manufacturer, and there's margin in it for the middleman. The guy that's the Costco's of the world. And so they're selling a 15-foot array of cabinets for $1,800. And Costco's still making money on it. So it's Bold series. The Bold. Matt, the Bold is 18 gauge. Sure it is. Whatever. Maybe combined. It's just not. It's junk. Sorry. It's junk. It's marketing focused. The thing that's funny is they get so much going on their website, but it makes no sense. It's so hard to navigate to figure out what to do. That's why people just buy the array. Whatever they're already prefabbed. So yeah, it's just not. It's just Husky, New Age, Gladiator. It's all the same junk. It's like it's all built to a price point, not built to a quality point. The Sabre's built to whatever it's built to, and then that's what it costs. And it's Sabre is designed by a ex-cabinet engineer guy who thought he could do it better. Ooh, all the Dynaudios are up.
Yeah, Jeff chimed in the chat, said they're now up. So 1357. The music is all live in the store now.
That looks pretty. I like that.
Does look pretty nice there.
I like the look. It's the start.
So there you go. Let's see. We have a super chat from Benji. $10 American. Love the crazy. I've learned a lot in the last 2 weeks of watching the videos. Thanks, Benji. That's cool. There's a lot more videos.
2 weeks, yeah. You couldn't have watched too many. There's a whole lot in there.
That's only like 4 videos. Let's see. Kiri wants to know, where is the Sub-Zero refrigerator? It's coming next week, right? Is that what I saw in the email?
That's what I'm hoping. You keep saying that. That's what they're saying. But we were scheduling a bunch of the other stuff, the double oven and all that. So you'll have to come and scoop some stuff. It'll be easier for you. You have to scoop a little bit at a time.
All the junk. Junk you don't want anymore.
Just be careful. You put some bread in that double oven, it lights it on fire for some reason. Come to find out, it's because Michelle was turning it on to like 600 degree broil.
Yeah, that would do it.
And like 2 seconds, the thing's on fire. So I don't think it's actually the oven.
Operator.
I think it's Michelle M. from Lady Lake. Yeah.
Who's in the chat, by the way, so be careful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Noble Armo wants to know, Garden hose, same issue. Yes, we our hose supplier there. We got a ton of the inlet hoses made because we use those more and need those more. So we had to sacrifice some of the longer hoses and make smaller ones. But yeah, we're hoping to get more soon. Any chance Ely is warming up to OG carrying their reels?
No,
David.
No. I haven't heard anything from them. They must be doing all right without us.
Yeah, they don't need us.
Yeah.
Have you tried Aquapel as a glass coating? What did you think? What's the go-to right now for a windshield?
Wolves. Yeah, no. Aquapel's some bull crap, just like all the others. They chiming in. What's wrong with New Age? If you don't know, then you're in for a rough life. I'm sorry. Save your money. Don't buy New Age, and wait and get something good. Just don't do it. You don't need cabinets. You just wait. And then save some more money and wait a little longer, and then maybe buy 2 New Age or something, but don't buy a whole array. It's a waste of money. But then again, you could always sell it off pretty easily.
All right, let's see here. We have another super chat here from Andrew G. Do Sabre cabinets ship for free if I order more than $2,000 worth in the OG store? That's what Sabre's website is offering. I'd much rather order from you.
Yeah, I think we have the same thing. I don't know. Yeah. The way it works out is we have a little better map pricing, and so it ends up being the same.
Yeah, email support at Obsessed Garage, Andrew. They know all the latest on that. They can help you out with that. Let's see.
The fascination in the world with free shipping is the funniest thing I find. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as free shipping. You're paying for it. Just a question of how. And if you're not, that company is in the future out of business sale. So keep an eye out for that. You just can't. You can't do it for free. So anybody doing free shipping is just charging you more on the back end, or they're in the works of going out of business. It's freaking stupid.
We had a couple customers this week who, I joked about it once that you don't understand how much it costs to ship something until you have to ship it.
Yeah.
And so when they ship back a return, and sometimes they'll just cancel it. I don't want to return it. Never mind. It costs too much to ship it back. That's kind of how it works.
Welcome to how it works.
We get a little better rate, and we pass that on to you, but it's still, UPS guys don't want to work for free.
It's a whole lot better rate than you go to the UPS store and
yeah.
You're paying a markup.
Never go there.
Yeah, don't do that.
We have a UK viewer here who chimed in on Instagram. I'm a UK viewer based in Manchester. You've mentioned in previous videos that you're going to be editing the interior trim. Will this include new seats, steering wheel? Will this be retrimmed, or will you buy a new, more updated M-like wheel, door cards, floor mats, etc.?
No, all those M wheels are stupid. We're not doing that. The steering wheel that's in it's the best steering wheel, so we're not doing that. That's fine. I'm doing new shift boot, new e-brake boot. We're doing new door cards with new, M-Cross, inserts being built. We're doing an Alcantara headliner and Alcantara rear deck, and new door cards with new, fabric on the back door cards. And we need to do some pieces on the rear seat. There's a trim piece that holds the seat together. It needs to be done. What else? And I'm doing Recaro Speed 5s, and then they're going to be done in Alcantara and matching M-Cross. And I'm going to take the Vader seats and put them in some plastic and put them upstairs and let them sit there and marinate money.
So those are called Vader, like Darth Vader?
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
So stop emailing me. You're not. Everybody thinks they got some secret smart inside track. Oh man, I think I got a good idea that he hasn't thought of. Well, you and 1,000 other people. Hey, I'll take those Vader seats off your hands. And then when I say, well, all right, $10,000, then they say, well, no. So, well, you wanted them that badly. No, what they want me to do is give them to them for free. Some seats that they're probably the best. I probably have the best original seats. Wamba tells me in the world, in the country. So yeah, we're not doing that.
Email me. I'll make you a special deal on them. Timothy Roach says, Matt, really enjoyed your last your last wash at home old school video with GT4 chatting and washing was cool. You seem more relaxed.
I am more relaxed. Yeah, life is good. Life is simpler.
All right, when it comes to bead maker, Scott wants to know, are you still using those orange towels?
Yeah. So I have an orange towel in my left hand, and I have the big gauntlet, 15 by 24 in my right hand, and so I'll soak down with bead maker, initial wipes with the gauntlet, and then my follow-ups with the little orange towels. So yeah, I'm only using one of each per dry per whole car, so it's been working out pretty well. But that's my system currently.
All right, Zerk in the chat says, I remember seeing Matt talk about having die-cast cars as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Does he happen to still collect any today?
No, I don't collect anything. I have zero nostalgia in my body, like zero. Just don't. That's to me, that's like what pack rats do. That's what, how you end up on an episode of Hoarders. I don't keep anything. In fact, I'm looking at this thing here. I'm thinking I need to go light that CFP and SEMA thing on fire. No need for those anymore. Guaranteed, when I get whatever office I end up with in the next few months, that will get all everything will be thrown away.
You can make a video. You can finally use some of your guns. Shoot them. Target practice.
I'll keep my Amber Marshall picture.
Yeah,
though.
you got to keep that. I'll let that get out of here.
Forgot I had that.
Some of our visitors last week, actually, their wives are big Heartland fans.
I like them. Yeah, I like those wives. Then
they were like, "Oh man, I love that picture." OE Plus N52 on Instagram says, "Hey guys, ever since I found OG Channel a few years back, I've been building my daily as if I was Matt, making it clean OE Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I live in an apartment, however, with two bad situations: no garage, no water source.
Yep.
So I always end up going to a self-serve car wash and bring my own bucket.
Yep.
I really want to paint correct my whole car and do a coating.
Yep.
With my situation, especially no water source in the building, I find it not impossible, but the environment is not the easiest. Any suggestions would help." That's Otto from Canada.
You gotta have some friend somewhere with a
He's
garage.
Canadian. I don't know. No friends.
You gotta have, if not, make a friend. Say, hey, I'll teach you how to wash your car properly if you let me use your garage for a weekend. That's what I would do for sure. Find someone who has a garage that'll let you come in, come and do your thing inside of it for the weekend, and bring all your stuff with you. That's certainly what I would do.
So there you go, Otto. Hopefully that helps you. Taylor wants to know, C2V3 as a drying aid. What are your thoughts? I feel it's superior to bead maker, but cost is much higher.
It's not. You're smearing it all over the place. It doesn't do so well water, when you're using it when the surface is damp either. Yeah, and it's just too much. You don't need that much. I don't know if it's heavier silicon dioxide content, but it's the same thing as Reload. It's just not a good drying aid. Those are actual spray-on sealants. Much better product, for longevity and all that. But yeah, it's not a good drying aid.
Workshop 1668 wants to know, who are you using for the door card restoration? There's a guy in Connecticut that does good work, but I'd like to get my M-Cross panels and seat bolster fixed somewhere in the southeast to save on shipping, but don't trust anyone to get it done right.
I have no idea. Waba's got it all worked out. Someone here in Florida, I think. I'm just going to take the car there. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I'll find out for you.
What is a door card, by the way?
That's the panel, like you have the door, which is metal, and then the thing that snaps onto the metal door. That's your door card.
Got it.
It's literally made out of cardboard. The BMW one is. That's why they have that name. Now they're made out of plastics and leathers and different composites, but that thing is like 90% cardboard.
All right, Jack on Instagram says, I saw a post on Sound and Motion Boston mentioning you, Matt, and a classic Porsche radio. Is a vintage Porsche joining the fleet?
No. So I was looking for some solution for the the E36 of some sort of radio solution. I don't like that VDO. I forget what it's like. It's not Continental. It's like Conti Tech or something like that. It looks stupid. And then Alpine doesn't make anything anymore. Pioneer does have the DH90 PS, I think, or PRS. Or I could have done the Sony RSX GSS9, but they look too modern. And so Porsche Classic has a head unit that's Apple CarPlay set up and looks vintage, but it says Porsche right on the front of it. And so this was Jim's idea from Sound of Motion. He said, why don't you do one of these Porsche radios that we've been doing on all these classic Porsches? I said, what's it look like? He said, just Google it. So I Googled, I'm like, oh man, that's perfect. It's got the 2 knobs on it, but it has an LCD screen in the center, and it does Apple CarPlay and all that. And so the simple solution was, can we remove the Porsche lettering? And so sure enough, Derek's removed the Porsche lettering and filled it and painted it, and now there you go. That's my radio. So that'll be the head unit, and then I'm gonna have just BAV sound speakers and and just be able to have some sort of audio just to improve it a little bit. But I'm not doing subwoofers and amps, so we use the factory Harman Kardon amp, and so everything should wire up. And they built me a harness and everything, so all I have to do is put some butt connectors on it, and boom, good to go.
Jared in the chat says, have you ever looked into detailing keg sprayers? Seems like a pretty legit option for a sprayer / foamer.
No, I don't like that. There's a big giant, he's talking about, like the...
A keg is large.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you set it on the side, you put a little curly Q hose on it, and, you pressurize it. And we don't use enough product for that to really matter. And when you do those solutions, like pump sprayers, they use so much more stuff. It saves you time and energy, but I don't know. I like the physical action of using a quality handheld hand sprayer.
All right, C-Mac wants to know, is there any luck in an E46 search?
Oh, yeah, I've been searching like crazy for them, yeah. I'm not in a rush, so I'm looking for like the car.
All right, my WRX channel, Super Chat, $10 American, would love to see another live install or live wash and talk. Those are pretty popular.
Yeah, it should be good. My internet is almost done. I ripped out all the Ubiquity crap and I put this other thing. I was on the phone with them for 2 hours last night trying to get it to work. And so the Orbi thing was kind of works, but I'm getting like 200 megabits per second download, so I don't know what the heck's going on. I get back on the phone with them, and I'm about to punt that thing and try something else.
And he adds here, P.S., what is the rule of 72? Just kidding. That's pretty good. I knew the answer to that, Perry. That was a good question.
Yeah.
Timothy says, hey, Matt, have you ever been to the United Kingdom? As we have so many Porsche enthusiasts from old school to new.
No, I've never been to Europe.
I've been once, Timothy. We had a lot of fun.
I've been to Canada once.
Terrible food.
Been to Jamaica 3 times.
Ooh, look at you.
That's the only international traveling I've ever done.
Let's see. Here it is.
And it'll be to Jamaica no more times.
I was going to say, you've been to Jamaica 3 times. You are white trash fancy, as you like to say. What are the pros and cons of pneumatic polishers? Sid wanted to know.
I mean, the advantage that they're instant on, so there's no like electric ramp up. So you pull the trigger and it instantly works. There's a smoothness to it. It's a different kind of polishing. You're going to use less pressure. You get a 15 millimeter orbit on the LHR 15 pneumatic. You get a 15 millimeter orbit on a 3-inch machine, where the electric's only a 12 millimeter orbit. So it's just a really nice experience. But you're probably not going to set up your air compressor system just for that. Like, you'd have to have another use for a big compressor. Just buying a system for a pneumatic polisher doesn't make sense. But if you do have other uses, like other pneumatic tools, you're going to be filling up tires and doing stuff like that often, because you need a 12 CFM plus air compressor to do it.
All right, Ben here in the chat says, I'm curious what Matt thinks of the BMW E36/8 (parentheses the clown shoe), since he never seems to mention it when talking about the golden age BMWs.
The what?
That's what I thought you would know what I was saying there. E36/8, the clown shoe.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
He's trying to catch me slipping.
I don't know, man. Maybe that's a BMW bro thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that versed in stinky old BMWs. I'll be an E36 expert when it's done, but it's going to take me a while. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I'll Google that here in a second.
I'm sure Walba's yelling at the screen right now.
Devin says, I'm ready for the NSX content. How's that search coming? Has anyone reached out?
No, I haven't heard anything. So you know what happens with me? I run out of. If you don't catch me when I'm hot and ready, I'm out. So,
E38 is a BMW 7 Series. I learned that.
I mean, is he talking about the 8 Series? I don't think that's called the E36 though.
I don't know.
Maybe he's talking the E38 8 Series. I don't freaking know.
Look what you've done, Ben. You got us
I don't know what's going
all
on.
out of sorts now. Let's see. Clown Shoe is the Z3 Coupe, says Tom and Chris.
Oh, ugh, no. It's hideous.
Z3 Coupe M.
Anything Z from BMW, I have no interest in.
The small car with the S54 Matt never knew he wanted.
Yeah, no, I don't want anything to do with that. Car's hideous.
That'd be fun.
All the Z, new and old, no interest.
Z3M?
Z8, Z whatever.
No Z stuff?
No M Roadster, none of that. I hate them. Hate all of them.
All right, let's see. From Nandor here in chat. Hey, Matt. Love all your effort. I've started changing all my detail products to the ones you provide. If I start a two-step with a microfiber, should I finish with a finishing foam pad or stay with micro?
No, you want to finish with foam. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the microfiber is going to be too aggressive. So you want to soften it up, or soften your cutting up a bit and go to foam. Depending on the type of paint, on if you go to really soft foam or like moderate foam, with something like a like Perfect Finish or some sort of like the 3800 Menzerna or some other finishing polish.
All right, Crazy SJ says, hey, Matt, what's the one tool that you cannot live without?
Gosh, there's so many. I mean, probably LHR 15. Other than, like a 3/8 inch ratchet set, or like a Phillips head screwdriver. But yeah, I'd say an LHR 15 Mark III would be my favorite.
All right, let's see. Jonathan wants to know. A couple people asked about that actually in the chat about, do you have any thoughts on Pan's new car or Adam LZ's new car? I guess they got new cars.
People need to stop using the term supercar. That's dumb. Hypercar, supercar. It's just dumb. That's what journalists use. Don't be like journalists. I just don't like that. It's like, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to call anything, it's just a car. Car with
super duper car.
Right.
Hypercar.
It's a hypercar. Well, where do you draw the line? Doesn't.
So is that what they got, I guess?
Yeah. Well, Adam LZ got, a 992, Turbo S.
Says Christopher Baker here in the
But
chat,
those, I told Adam, I said, it's a freaking old man car. So, it makes sense for Pan, all-wheel drive. He's in Canada. It snows like, 12 months out of the 12 months. But it's a boring old man whoosh car. They sound terrible. But, they're fast. The Turbo S is what you get if you're an old man, old doctor, you made it. And you want to cruise in style to your to the office once in a while, or if you're going to drive it year round and you want all-wheel drive, put some snow tires on it. I mean, where you can still get around in it, but they make crappy sounds. They don't sound good at all. And or if you're into like Meathead, I want to beat everybody from stoplight to stoplight, because those things, you freaking tune them and they're oh my gosh, insanely fast. Speed is not my thing, I want the experience, and so the turbos, the like, I don't think I'll ever own a 911 turbo of any variant, just because they're amazing cars, and they make sense for certain applications. You want to go really fast straight, or really fast just in general, or you're an old man and you want to go really fast in style. Those guys are usually driving below the speed limit. It's like the civilized guy who would normally buy a Corvette. It's only they're civilized, and so they want something civilized. The cool thing about them, you get Burmester, you can get great audio. It's more comfortable. You get some nice seats, like 18-way seats. And the tough part about them is there's so much money, and they're worth so little when you are ready to sell it in comparison to a GT car. So it's like as soon as you get one, it's immediately lighting $60K on fire. So it is one of the cars that I would want to buy used, because unless you can keep it a long time, you're going to get absolutely murdered on a Turbo S, because they're $200,000+ to outfit. But I told Adam this, he didn't listen to me, so he said he needed a daily driver. I said, all right, well, you go for it, you get it.
Yeah.
And
you can buy it from him when he's done.
No, I don't want it. Yeah, and then he'll be liquidating that sucker soon when he's like, man, this thing's boring as crap.
I like that color. That's a nice gray.
They're fast, really fast. It's not a freaking supercar. Sorry, Pan. It's not. It's a freaking 911. There's no such thing as a supercar. It's a 911 turbo.
All right, someone up here and under the OG chat, it may have been Waba. The Z8 is cool. I don't know if that's Mike or Waba Price.
Yeah.
That looks even worse. Ugh.
Yeah, the Z8 looks way better than the Z8's like a $200,000, now $300,000-$400,000 car. That was the James Bond flagship. That was a $180,000 car or something crazy like that. That was their supercar. Freaking stupid. Yeah, I've never driven one. Don't really care to.
Interesting. Learned something new today. Ultra car, hyper super ultra car.
Oh my gosh! Kids, stop this nonsense. Mega super duper
Supreme
ultra, Supreme car.
Yeah. Jack Sparrow, nice. He's joining us today in the chat. I haven't seen Dr. Phil in a while, by the way. I'm missing Dr. Phil.
Sorry, the same guy.
Matt, I've made my wife officially despise you. Doesn't take much, though.
Yeah.
By making my whole setup OG spec.
Yeah. And she pays the credit card bill.
I'm tied between the Comet and the Crenzola.
Yeah,
what does the Crenzola bring that the Comet does not?
It's not junk. It's not Italian. The Comet is like a one-of-a-kind solution. But it's because it's all in one. It's compact. You get good flow, good pressure. I mean, it's a good machine. It's just Italian, so it's a bit more problematic than a Crenzola would be with German precision. So it's not as precise. You'd only buy the Comet if you needed that all in one with the hose and the whole thing all in one deal, or if you just can't convince yourself, if you can't swing the extra cost. But they're not comparable if that couple $100 isn't going to make or break it for you, or if you didn't need that all-in-one functionality that the Comet has, then you'd choose the Crenzola for sure. But the Comet is just barely good enough for me to accept it. And the reason for it is because it performs really well. But the fit, finish, quality, long-term viability of it is not in the same class.
All right, we have a question from Matt in the chat. How conforming/flexible is Swiss Trax? My house is almost 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The garage slab is a bit ragged and uneven. I've got rubber flooring down now, but would switch to Swiss Trax if I was able to.
Yeah, I mean, I know what he's talking about. Sometimes those can get real porous, and there's cracks and different levels and stuff. It'll probably be fine. Initially you'll be real weary of it, and that you'll be like, oh man, this didn't work. But then it'll eventually, like we have the drain that dips in, or where a lot of garages at the edge where the garage door comes in, it'll kind of peak, and the tile. I mean, it's polypropylene plastic, so it's not super pliable, but it will kind of conform over time. You might just get some little more clickety clackety in some of the areas where there's a big transition, but that's a perfect candidate to do something like that. You just have to deal with a little bit of the imperfection of it, but it'll certainly cover up a lot of the not so attractive lookingness of a 100-year-old piece of concrete.
Kyle York here in the chat says, I'm starting to get a little bored with my 2017 Golf R
Mm-hmm.
and need more room since my family recently expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about getting a 4-door E90 M3 or F10 M5, which is better in your opinion?
Depending on how old your kids are, in M5, I learned this lesson is useless. The trunk is much, much bigger than it is on a 3 Series, but the back seat is like the same size. The back seat is bulkier, but like there's like zero room between the front seats if you're reasonably tall and the back seat. And so with Ryan, he didn't have enough room to fit, and with Kate, she's still little enough for her feet, they poke out straight. And so she like couldn't, because their knees are this far, back from the seat, and so it just didn't work for squat for kids. So the F10 is a bit more practical car. F10 because you can get 18, 19 miles per gallon. The thing you'll struggle with an E90 is maintenance. You've got to really maintain it, so it doesn't blow up, and you're going to get 10 miles a gallon if you're okay with that. Which we're clearly headed to $4 or $5 a gallon gas. So if you're commuting a lot, putting a lot of miles on it, you just be ready for that. You're going to get, on the highway you're going to get 15 tops. But like on my E92, I think I average 11 miles a gallon. So,
that's bad.
Yeah, it's it's gonna and it has a tiny tank. Oh shoot, tiny tank. But a 3 Series is going to be much more practical, I think, for you to fit people in, believe it or not. It's just better proportional inside.
All right, Nate here in the chat says, can you apply Beadmaker to a recently polished waxed car with no coating?
Sure, yeah. That was part of the reason why I liked it so much, because you can put it on anything. You put it on trim, you can put it on glass, you can put it on, you put it on a standalone, which not going to last very long, but you could use a standalone. You put on, the waxer coating or anything. So, yeah, it'll work great.
All right, let's see. Do you think, Morgan wants to know, is active pressure washer, is that a better alternative when compared to Comet after that Comet chat?
Man, that's a tough one. Somebody asked me that, sent me an email on that, and I sat there for like 45 seconds with, no resolution. Yeah, I mean, the Comet, you just pick it up. The Comet weighs like 35 pounds or 40 pounds. It's, more solid. It's got a lot of plastic around it. The Comet has like a not my favorite hose, but it has a legitimate usable hose and usable fittings and stuff. And one of the disadvantages of the Comet over the Active is you got to do like BSPP, adapters, which of course we have all that. Active, you're doing M15, which isn't as problematic as it used to be because now we have all the proper fittings for them. Yeah, I mean, I just think it depends on the permanence of where you're putting it, where you live. If you have a more permanent situation where, hey, I want to set this thing up and it's going to stay here, then I think I'd choose a Comet. If it's more temporary, like you're renting a house or you're in like a house that you think you're going to be in for a few years, I'd be inclined to just choose, not mount it and do all that stuff and do an Active and just get a new one every couple of years. That's it. Some people are going to get 5 years, 6 years out of an Active. Some people are going to get 6 months. And that's the imprecise, quality of an Active. It's built to a price point, so we're getting that where the Active wins. Is you're getting the most you can get out of your $230. So James is building that thing to a price point and he's squeezing as much out of it as he can get. As much tech, as much performance as you can get out of a 15 amp circuit with a 13.5 amp motor, and a $220 budget with a, I don't know what it costs him, probably $130 a piece or something like that. So they probably cost $90, and then you got to ship it over here and all that, and then it ends up being a $230 retail. So you get as much as you can out of an Active. So I don't know, man. I don't know the answer to that.
Depends on your situation.
You could buy 3 Actives for the price of 1 Comet, but you can't live life that way. You could buy 6 Honda Civics for the price of 1 GT3 RS. Do you want 6 Hondas? Both utility, both get you there. the argument that's a little tougher is could you buy 6 Honda Civics that have the same horsepower that a GT3 RS has, knowing that Honda Civic's a bad example because the Honda Civic's car going to work longer and better than the Porsche would, but that's not necessarily the case with the Active. Well, maybe it is.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. The beauty of an Active, the thing I like about that less expensive option is that, like, you're just not in it so deep, and a lot of people, it gives them the option. I've moderated on this. It gives you the option. Maybe I should moderate on new age cabinets too, but it gives you the option to figure out, is this something you actually want? And a cabinet holds the tools. Maybe I should stop yelling and screaming. People always tell me I contradict myself. I do, but I'm allowed to. I'm me. You're you. I get to choose to be who I want to be. And you get to choose who you want to be. What you don't get to choose is to tell me what to do. 'Cause I'll smack you off the internet face. Internet smack to the face, however you do that. Which is called this podcast. We need to change it. It's this is the dialed in internet smack to your face
next week.
Who else can I make fun
Write
of?
that down, Mike. All right, our friend David in Alabama says, when are you starting on the outdoor kitchen / patio area? Or have you already started?
Nah, I just ordering stuff and it takes forever. So probably 2 months from now. So we got to figure it out.
You got
the cabinets.
Evo.
The Evo's sitting there. My Lynx grill will be here sooner or later. My hood is going to be there, next week. I'm doing a Sub-Zero outdoor fridge. He talked me into doing that. He's like, your cost would come down if you did another cabinet. I said, I don't know about that. I don't know the fridge I want to do. We're getting there, though. We're almost done. And then I'll just do little tweaks. The big project is almost over.
And Matt the Cooking Guy video is coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
What's the first thing you're going to cook on the Evo?
Cheesesteak.
All right.
I've already decided.
You got it.
I'm going to get a nice Snake River Farms USDA prime ribeye.
Okay.
Boneless.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cut it down with my...
shave it?
Yeah, we'll shave it with my... what's my Yaxel?
Ginsu knife.
Yeah, my Yaxel Super Gao knife. Just shave it down, and you get your onions ready. Then you cook up your steak medium-ish, and then
what about cheese? What are you doing for cheese?
There's no. What are you doing for cheese? There's
Cheese
only one
whiz?
option. I'll make some with whiz, and
Yeah.
then it's mostly
Without-
provolone. I prefer provolone. No peppers. I don't like the peppers in there. So onions, yellow onions. I like yellow onions with a bunch of butter on them, and so that way they taste great. A little bit of salt, and then you take your bun, your Publix, bakery, whatever hoagie roll, whatever they're called, and you butter that, and then you
Slap it down on
slap it down on the Evo on the other side, and then you've got magic.
All right.
Provolone.
Sounds really good.
And you're freaking pulling out American cheese or some other bull crap nonsense. I don't really like Cheese Whiz version. I like provolone. Like 9 slices of provolone. This is going to be bad for my eating program. I got to go get. I don't think I'm going to get there. I'm going to make it there today. I'm going to go get weighed and measured. I was 47.2% body fat.
47.2.
That's how I was telling Michelle. She's like,
Sounds
what?
like a lot.
And it's like, yeah, I'm 47% body fat. This is terrible. That's why I didn't want to get on that scale. So, yeah, I'm doing macro-based. Michelle's cooking. Not my Michelle, but Michelle at the gym is cooking. She shows up on Sunday, drops me off all my meals. I eat the same thing for 7 days, and then she makes me something new for the next 7 days. And we're slowly ratcheting back my my fat and carbohydrate content, but we're doing slow, half a pound a week, something like that, trying to build some muscle and then not be such a fat slob. Instead of, I think this is maintainable. Like I'm 3 weeks in and I'm not dying. 3 weeks into another diet, I'd be freaking dying right now. I'd be, I wouldn't have made it 3 weeks.
There is no 3 weeks in.
Yeah. So I'm 3 weeks in. I haven't even thought about quitting. So that's been good.
Nice.
I haven't eaten I did eat one sleeve of Oreos one time in the 3 weeks. one
sleeve,
one section.
yeah, one column.
It would have eaten the whole thing, but there was only one section left. They were a little stale. They were a little spongy.
Soft, yeah.
But
That's when you know you're desperate. When you're eating.
half of them I would just take they were the vanilla ones, and I just throw it in the garbage, and I'd make a triple stuff, and basically just eating the Crisco in the center. It's so good. Oh, what happened to your box? I just noticed that. Is it over here?
No, it's gone.
Shoot.
I'll find something new to put over there.
No, do not. I was like, I just realized that. I could see the janky cock line over there.
That's funny.
And yeah. No more Fiesta hot sauce. Where did that go? What did you do with it? Did you throw it away?
Yeah, I threw the hot sauce away.
Oh my
we finished
gosh.
the one bottle I liked, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
Mm.
And then there was some hoses that the Cox Hose Reels guys had sent, and so when they came back,
Mm-hmm.
I told them you thought the hoses were garbage, and so it's gone now.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I think you'll like this question from Jordan on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Matt and Chris, I'm a younger guy, 16 years old to be exact,
Okay.
and I really want really nice things.
Yeah.
How do you get the patience to know that right now I can't afford it, but maybe in 4 to 5 years I can?
4 to 5. Make that 45. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's what motivated me my whole life. It's that chase, that desire for things is what motivated me to do the things I didn't want to do. So you just use it as fuel, and you get a little bit at a time. And more than half of the fun is the chase, is the research, is the learn, is the considering. And I spent most of my high school and college days. I would I don't do this as much anymore, but now I kind of do it for a living, where I put together packages and add it up. But I would add up my ideal car stereo, and I would have the Crutchfield catalog when I'm supposed to be listening to whatever core humanities class I was in or something, and I'd be adding up on the left hand column, on the left hand side of the red. The red line on your notebook, and I would add up all the pricing, and I would write to the right description and be like, well, if I did a Alpine CDA 9000, whatever, and then I'm like, well, if I switched that out for this and went one step higher, and I would add it up, be like, man, that would be a $32,000 stereo, and it added up, and then, but of course I'm not getting it. But I'm like, someday I'm gonna get that, and I just would focus on. Still love to learn it. And then the beauty of all of that, years and years and years of, my entire life of dreaming, means that I now know something and have something of value. And so all those notebooks filled with all of these scenarios, these possible, whether it was modifying my car or doing a car stereo or building a home theater or putting together anything, I've done it with houses, I've done it with, my financial plan. I've been doing it my whole life of just, I would pick one thing that night, and I would be like, okay, so I don't know as much about this, the amplifier section of the car stereo, so let me go and figure out what amplifier do I like the most. And I'd usually go with my gut, and then I'd like certain things like Dynaudio. I love Dynaudio for some reason, and so I would chase it. Now I built a spreadsheet of everything they make, and I said, give me one of everything, and then there's value in that. Who else has done that? I bet you the dealers that have been selling it forever, half of them probably haven't even touched or seen everything that they make. I want to see it all. And then there's value in that passion for something. So when you're 16, you focus on the passion, you focus on the chase, and if you do that, then I think the money will come. And then you get to a point where you have too much stuff and it stresses you out. So, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's so true.
All right, let's see. Speaking of, you were in your humanities class not paying attention. Carter here in the chat is sitting in class right now listening to this. So shame on you, Carter. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Learn something.
This is what I struggle with now, because when you're an adult, you're expected to show participation. I learn so much better if I'm able to multitask, right? So if I can, and I'll stay present better. If I was able to have my laptop, let's say you were lecturing on something, and if I was able to just sit on my laptop and listen to you, but also keep myself occupied, That's just the best way that I learn. So like if I would love going to church if I could just sit there on my laptop, be researching E36M3 rear subframe bushings while I'm taking in something. And that's what I do when I'm watching TV. I'm learning something about watching a documentary or something while I'm following up on YouTube comments or digging into Canon C70 cameras. That's a good way to live, I think.
All right, Morgan has a question here. You want to know the Oreos you ate, were they double stuff or were they?
Yeah.
They were vanilla double stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Dune Wild just now made it on. Congratulations. Always appreciate your obsessed / dialed in content. Thanks, Dune. Glad you can make it here. Which videos are coming up this weekend? What did I see?
We'll see.
The suspension, the front suspension.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming up soon. And then I forget what the other one was.
Wheel coating, maybe. Is that tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah. The CarPro Deluxe in Gliss.
Yeah.
That's correct. Let's see. My wife needs a mobile pressure washer so she can do her annual cleanup on the house, and I want a stationary unit for the garage driveway. What is the solution?
Yeah, I don't know. You get her a gas one, and then get yourself a Krenza. You get so much more done if you get a gas, an appropriate gas, and you can buy a decent one for $400, $350, something like that, and then you get yourself a Krenza for the garage. I wouldn't want to be cleaning up the house with a darn little baby crappy electric pressure washer. You're just sitting there all day. You're not getting anything done. You're just pushing water around. You want something that can actually do some cleaning. So I would want something gas. I don't even do it. I just hired the pressure washing guy, and he brings his 9 gallon per minute, 10 horsepower monster out there, and does his thing. The surface cleaner and all that stuff. Chlorine injection, bleach.
All right, we have 7 questions here from one person, but they're quick. You can answer them quickly.
Yeah.
From Jack. Matt, considering all your cars, which one wins first? Best engine?
GT3 RS.
Best brakes?
GT3 RS.
Best handling?
GT4.
Best to wash?
E92 M3.
Oh, good guess there, Jack. That's what he guessed. Best looking?
E92 M3.
And best sounding?
GT3 RS.
There you go. Good question there, Jack. What's the preferred gas unit? Do you have a preferred gas unit? Yamaha?
Yeah, I don't know. If it were me, I would just call up Dirt Killer, Krenzel USA, and say, well, what do I need? And they'll sell you one. That's what I would do if I was going to do gas. I just don't know enough about them. If you go to Home Depot, think about all the other junk that Home Depot has. You don't buy lights from Home Depot. You don't buy flooring from Home Depot. You don't buy, you buy wire nuts from Home Depot. So, buying your pressure washer from Home Depot, you're going to get a Home Depot pressure washer.
All right, that bearded veteran says, do you think Milwaukee will ever make a cordless DA polisher?
Yeah, they're working on it. I've actually referred them to several people to help develop it. They can't send it to me because then all their other influencers will get angry. And so I referred them to some people that I trust to put it through its paces.
We have a super chat here, $4.99 from John Z. Just joined Hex Plus. Curious if there will be more mobile-friendly video access, maybe some sort of OG app in the future.
Maybe. That's the goal. That's the long-term goal. Right now, I just didn't want to put it on some other Patreon platform. I wanted to own it. And the disadvantage of doing that is it's kind of clunky. So the best way to do it is you just go to your web browser on your phone, and like Michelle does it all the time, and you just press play, and when you log into the site on and then you can listen to it like normal. But yeah, that's the goal would be to have. That'd be awesome. We can make a lot of money off of a mobile solution. I just don't have the energy at this point in time to do it, but we will someday for sure.
All right, our friend out in Oregon, Jeff, wants to know, hey, Matt, what is your go-to donut? Like a legit donut, not that Little Debbie stuff.
I want a...
See if you have the right answer. I know.
You know, like the white powder icing with like the white, you know.
Oh, the white icing in the...
Yeah. Like the most, like you're like ready to, like you have a headache by the time you're done eating two of them. That's my favorite one.
I like the chocolate-covered white icing filled. It's like the glaze, but chocolate-covered.
And I like to eat it with a fork and knife.
With chocolate milk, you got to wash it down with
Just like
milk.
ribs. I like to eat ribs with a fork and knife. Michelle gives me a hard time for that. Says I'm a sissy little baby.
All right, let's see. We got one last good question here. C-Mac, all of your cars are gone, Matt. All you have access to is the employee cars in the parking lot.
I don't like these questions.
Which one are you choosing? And yes, Krispy Kreme, Noble, you're correct.
I'd probably take either Kyle's Golf or my dad's WRX.
All right, there you go. Old-fashioned donut or maple bar?
No, I don't need maple on my donut.
Publix powered Long John donut with buttercream icing inside.
That sounds a little too much.
Yeah.
I want simple. That's one thing I like is simple.
See, I don't like all the powder to be falling all over.
Well, that's why I eat it with a fork and knife. That way I can take, because I want proportional icing per piece, and so you'd cut it down the middle, and you'd cut it as you know.
Spread the
sometimes
icing.
the edge you'd get to dip it in the middle piece, you know, to get to kind of keep it, so your brain doesn't explode on one of those, you know, delicious bites.
That makes sense.
See, what's great about my program right now is like I'm not really I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need it. That's what's good.
I haven't seen any DoorDash emails pop up lately or anything.
No, nothing. Yeah. All my stuff's taken care of. I love it. I don't have to make anything. I'm thinking about anything. I don't have to wait on anything. Just throw it in the microwave. That makes me angry. I mean, hate putting it in a microwave and doing all that. But
Kevin suggested the Miata. The Miata's gone, Kevin. Bryce no longer has the Miata.
I can't fit in that thing.
Yeah. It's not pretty. Does Matt stick out his pinky while cutting the donut? They want to know.
No, I do the hold. If it was still up to me, I would still hold my fork like that, you know, just straight, not like the fancy way, like a pencil. Michelle broke me of that habit. It's just more efficient. You think about you're eating, you get down close, right? You get down close to your plate. That way, nothing falls in your shirt or anything, and you just go straight,
straight in.
It's the most efficient way. It's awesome. And if you're cutting, you got a good grip, on your knife. And I ate like that until I was probably 27. I don't know how I broke that habit. That was dumb. I think I told myself that at Merrill Lynch I'm gonna have to learn how to eat properly.
You can't eat that way.
And then my partner Jim eats like that. He's like just shoveling it in. So my mentor Jim, it wasn't my partner in time, but he would eat faster than I would. We'd be racing. And then one of our buddies Grant, he's so prepared. He's like Kyle. He's got all this prep work to do. He's got to get his napkin ready, and then he's separating, getting his sauces out, and I'm done. I've been done for 8 minutes before he takes his first bite.
He's lint rolling his shirt before he eats.
Yeah. No. I'm in and out. That's why it's efficient. And you keep it off your shirt by just go. Get down there and get it. Take the steak, put it on the fork, and just tear it off. I think that is a good way to do it.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I especially now, I don't give a crap. And that's why I wear T-shirts everywhere. I'm going to wear T-shirt no matter where. To a wedding, I'm wearing a freaking T-shirt and the same 511 tactical shorts. I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. It's a good way to be.
All right. Oh, here we go. We'll sign off with this one from John, our new Hex Plus guy. Placed his order at 12:03. Fulfilled by 12:26.
That's weak.
You guys are legends.
I gotta speed it. That's because they were eating.
Yeah. So thanks, Sean. That's cool. As long as we got it here, we'll get out quickly. Especially the later in the week it goes, when we get caught up pretty quickly.
Yeah. At some point, we'll end up having multiple shifts and probably weekend shift at some point in the future. I would love to have that, to have 2 shifts, and then have it like that forever, where things are shipped like instantaneously. And if we continue to, at some point, if we continue to get more warehouse space, then we could stock. We could really control our own inventory, never be out of stuff, and they're just instant ship. That would be freaking awesome.
All right, people here are suggesting the tuxedo T-shirt. Do you have one of those you can wear to weddings? Will there be an OG brand tuxedo shirt?
Yeah,
OG Hex cufflinks.
You're looking at him wearing this shirt right here. Just wear this.
That's why nobody invites Matt to their wedding, because they know he's going to show up looking like that.
Yeah, like give him a couple grand to not go. That's what I do. That's my move. Like, how much is this going to cost me to not get invited? I'm in on that.
That's good. I'm getting married this weekend. I thought you would have it. Send you an invitation.
All right, people. I'm going to go play with the. I wonder if the Tesla's here yet. I'm going to go play with the E36, and maybe I'll head out and go to the gym now.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. And for those of you who are asking about the stubby ego attachment, stay tuned. Next week we'll tell you all about it.
Okay. You tell me about it too. That'd be good. See ya.
All right, see you guys next week.
Oh boy.